Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar on opportunities and technology in parking management. As malls evolve into lifestyle and community destinations, parking has become much more than a utility. It is the first impression when visitors arrive and the last touch point when they leave. With the growing role of technology and data in retail, parking today is about far more than managing space. It's about creating seamless experiences, improving operational efficiency, and unlocking new revenue opportunities. Smart parking systems, intelligent design, and digital integration are transforming how malls serve their customers, making parking a true differentiator in the overall shopping experience. And that is exactly what we will be exploring today with our expert panel: how innovation and technology are shaping the future of parking management in India's shopping malls. We have with us two distinguished personalities in our panel of experts who will share insights on how shopping malls can turn parking from a challenge into an opportunity, enhancing convenience, sustainability, and profitability. Arvind Mayar, he is the CEO of Secure Parking Solutions Private Limited. Atul Saxena, he is Senior Vice President Operations, Pacific Development Corporation Limited.
Hello.
So, before we start the session, I request my viewers, if some questions come to their mind, or in case they want to ask anything, you just post your questions and we will take up at the end of the session. So, to begin, let's understand the larger picture of parking in all the mall ecosystem today. Atul, my question is, from a mall operator's perspective, how central is parking to overall customer experience and footfall today?
Start from parking management perspective, being a developer and the manager of the parking space or the retail space that we have, and parking is one of the amenities that we are using there. We have to be very much focused on the convenience first, and second is the sustainability, which is not only the kind of a the user's experience, but it is from the broader perspective. You need to do something for the society, for the environment, so you should also be be focused on the sustainability part, which parking can also get it you. And then the compliances and the profitability. Here, what we are going to discuss is the technologies that is helping us in achieving all of these. So from convenience perspective, the parking is actually one of the first touch point for any customer. So any customer who is coming to the retail space or any mall or any premises, the first is the security or the main gate, and while he or she enters from that gate and get into the parking space, that's the kind of feel that they get. And honestly speaking, when you are making that customer happy at that point, when he is entering into the premises, going through the parking space, make and having them also giving them the kind of a facility that they do not need to get bother about kind of where do I need to park my car, whether we have the space or not, the signages are not good, and he's quite confused. So that means your parking management is not only that you have done the technology and everything, but if you're not managing the inside space at the same time, you're not making that customer happy. And since you're not making that customer happy, you never know whether what is the mood of that customer, whether the customer is going into the mall and whether he is in a good mood or not. So you'll have to make sure that the customer who is actually coming to your premises having a good feel, and there is no long queue, and you implement the good technologies that we have also done with secure parking and some other, and we are using all these kind of technologies for making sure that our parking convenience is there at site. So
Great.
the bottom line is, for your customers, make sure that parking is a great convenience for him, and that is the only area where you can make your customer happy, and you'll be 100% sure that the customer will not only giving you the parking income or the parking revenue, but of course he'll be going into the mall, and of course you can get the other indirect revenue from that person also. So convenience is
That's,
very much important.
that's great, Atul. That gives us a clear view. Now, Arvind, my question is, from the tech side, how has parking evolved beyond a utility into a smart experience-led service?
So there are three issues which the parking technology addresses. The first issue is sustainability, green environment, and customer convenience. These are the two. Then in the end,
Can you give us
yes,
some historical
yes,
perspective also?
right,
How it has evolved?
right.
Parking, yeah.
So in India, initially, parking was not taken seriously as an industry. And for anyone who was doing parking, they used to have people on the road or in the car park. They used to issue manual tickets. And so the manual tickets, accounting wasn't proper. Some money went into the pockets of the cashier. Some money went into the developer, etc. And as the volumes grew, as malls came in, they started demanding a more formal process of collection, and they started demanding accountability, and therefore the parking systems started being implemented. One of the, about 25 years ago is when the parking system started. When I think the initial one was SCAI data. They were the early ones who came into India about 25, 30 years ago. And from there, then it has evolved to just ticketing and collection to customer experience and sustainability. There has been a lot of change after COVID because customers didn't want to have physical contact and would want it quick. People started getting used to the digital economy and the digital environment. So to have customer convenience, the first point is at the greenfield level. Now, when a mall comes up, you may attract 5,000 or 10,000 cars on a peak day on a Sunday, right? Now, so the car will create a chaos outside the mall, right? So therefore, how does the traffic have to change? Do you have to recommend underpasses or U-turns or traffic lights?
In fact, Arvind, this is my next question that is, popping to my mind.
Yes.
Addressing, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you mitigate that, right? And after the traffic comes inside, cars come inside, two-wheelers come inside. Where should they be parked? How many ramps should they be? How many entry and exit lanes should they be, so that there is no queuing? And for this, we have to go into queuing theory, right? Then, so how many ramps should there be? What is the drop off? What is the pickup? To pick up, do you have to go outside the facility, right? So, so the basic design has to be done at the greenfield level, because once the concrete is cast, then there is only so much you can do to improve the facility, right? So we have a small 2-minute video on this. If you will allow me, I can.
Arvind, I have a question.
Yes.
Which I want that Atul should address it. What are the biggest parking challenges you deal with daily, and especially during weekends, holidays, or major events? How do you manage that? Weekends you go to any mall, there's a flooding there, vehicles are flooded. How do you manage that?
Yeah. So good question, Anjeev ji. I think
It's
in
a very
couple of
challenging job,
yeah.
on the weekends,
At
and
times
Arvind, you will also
during
agree on weekends or festive seasons. It's
correct.
I don't know how you manage that. Could you please share your?
So, in the weekends, especially, or on the public holidays, or it's a big problem. But at the same time, you should also be happy that there are a lot of customers who are coming in your malls, and you should be happy that your space are full. But at the same time, space is something which is yes. You were saying something, Anjali?
Atul, I want to add one more point. When a mall is constructed, how do you decide about the parking area? What is the basis on which you decide that this much area will be reserved for parking? Yeah, so many floors will be reserved for parking.
Right. So the the allocation of parking is a design factor, wherein which is not a thumb rule practice. It depends on a lot of calculations, like the total square feet area of your mall, how many shops would be there, what the kind of customer base that you are expecting out of that place. The area of retail and F&B is also we calculate for designing the number of parks. So, and those parameters that we talk about. Let's say if you have a bigger kind of a F&B and you have a restaurant also at the same in the same mall, and your number of retails are lesser than that. So it depends. So that means you'll be having more customer during the in the night time when people would be using F&B, right, in the lunch time. So it starts right from 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it goes till 10 or 11 in the evening. So have a big crowd in that particular time frame. So depending on the services that we include in the mall, depending on the number of stores that we have in the mall, and the area also contribute in that way, right? You are having 6 lakh square feet mall in let's say in Tagore Garden, and you have 6 lakh square feet mall in Faridabad, will make a lot of big difference in terms of the number of parking. Though you have same number of parking, but actually what happens is if your design is lesser, so if you have if you're going for a low design of your parking numbers, you'll be facing the same kind of challenge that you initiated with your question. So if you have less number of parking and your design is limited within that, so what happens is that your churning happens, then you don't have space within the mall. So if you have no space within the mall, then people who are coming in the mall will be waiting, and the queue is long. So that means there is no space. People are not going, they are not leaving the mall by the time you have got the another chunk of the traffic coming in. So that is a sign that your design of your car parking is not good at the same time, right? So first thing, you yourself answered the first question which you raised, is that the designing is plays the major role in parking management. You have to be very cautious by designing the parking, based on which you'll be able to manage your parking properly. Otherwise you'll be feeling these kind of things. Now you have fixed space, but there is a challenge in the weekend. So whatever
Yeah.
space is available, it is available all 7 days. It is available 365 days. But actually your parking problems arise when you are in the weekend or in the public holidays, because the people who you are expecting in the daytime are maybe double or triple in the weekends. So the technology will also play a good part there. So that means you have to make sure that all your parking system is intact from the technology perspective. Your
Very rightly, Atul, you have pointed out you have added technology. So, Arvind, what technologies today effectively address congestion, queuing,
Yes,
and inefficient space utilization in malls?
yes. So therefore, I was again started. You didn't let me finish. Is on the design,
Yeah,
right? The design, the initial greenfield design is an extremely important part, right?
correct.
Now, the design of the car park is designed for peak periods, right? And it is designed for peak periods over the next 10 years. So we have teams of traffic engineers who will predict based on the location of the mall, the location of the locality, the brand, the brand which are going to come, what the peak level is of car fall and footfall will be there over the weekends or on holidays, right? Now, based on that, the first thing is that we recommend how many car spaces you have. Now, there are two ways to recommend it. One is that there are DP norms. These are the construction norms on the basis of which you will get an NOC certificate, right? Now, the NOC certificate norms vary from city to city. Now, some places they may be, I'm giving an example, for every 50 square meters of gross leasable area, you can have one. But so you may be able to satisfy the DP norm. They call the DP norms. But in actual practice, they may not be enough. So you need people like us, traffic engineers, who have worked across the world in major cities, and we can recommend based on our experience and based on our, for example, we run the Phoenix Mills in Bombay, right? So we know what footfalls can be. And then we also run Pacific malls or many other malls, right? Now, sometimes in our experience, when we have done it, we recommend that instead of 50 for one for 50, you have one for 35. That you have one car park for every 35 square meters. So that is a norm which comes from experience, also comes from the statutory requirements. So that is the first thing. We make sure that there is enough parking to satisfy the mall in the peak area. The second thing which comes into play is that there should be enough queuing space. There should be enough lanes, and there should be enough ramps for people to come in. And the ramps have to be placed spatially, not concentrated in one corner, so that even while exiting, there are no bottlenecks. So the design in this, to get this, the design is important. Secondly, you also need circulation. You need a one-way short circulation so that people are not going round and round looking for parking. And now if they go round and round, especially in the basement, it adds to the pollution. There's wastage of petrol. You have to exhaust the air out of the basements. So therefore, the design aim is to ensure that the circulation is the minimum, right? So if you allow me, I can demonstrate this through an audiovisual of about 2 minutes.
Yeah. In fact, I just wanted you to share a success story where AI, ANPR, or IoT significantly improved efficiency or reduced.
Yes. So let's go step by step. So that is the second stage. The first stage is the design stage. So let me at least first go on to the design stage.
Yeah. Please do that.
Okay. So there are three. The technology is at three levels, right? The first is at the entry. Secondly is in car finding and car location, and the third one is on exit. Now at the entry we have an ANPR technology which is AI based, which looks at the car number and it recognizes the car number. Based on the car number, the barrier is open, the car can come in. It takes about 2 seconds. This reduces waiting time. There are no tickets because your car number is the ticket, and the camera stores your car over there. At the point of exit, again when you come over there, so this is purely AI. So at the time of exit, the cameras read your car number. If you have FASTag, they let you go by FASTag. The gate will open. It is an open windows up solution. Yeah, and if you don't have a FASTag or the FASTag is not valid, there will be a dynamic QR code. You can pay by dynamic QR code. You can even prepay, and it is all based on AI and automated entry and exit. This has significantly reduced the exit times. Exit times in terms of cash or credit card is about 20 or 30 seconds, and with this it becomes to about 5 or 10 seconds, even less maybe. So these are two significant cases of technology helping customer convenience at the entry and exit. Also now, as far as wayfinding, where to park in the car and how to locate your car, you have AI in terms of cameras. There no longer, you have the old-fashioned sensors also, but you also have cameras, right? So the sensors have been done away. So when the car comes, there will be red and green lights, and it will tell you where to park the car. You don't need attendants. It will reduce your circling time. And when you come to find your car, there are kiosks, right? You can enter the kiosk and they will enter your number and they will tell you where the car is, because all car number plates are read by cameras. So in large car parks where you have 5,000, 6,000 car parks, right, it becomes difficult for people to find the car, or they forget where the uh, pillar is, etc. So this helps in locating the car. In India, so far, there is nobody who has implemented this car finding, but we are about to implement it in the next 2 or 3 months. I won't tell you the name of the mall, so both these, so it eases your entry, eases your exit, makes car finding easier, and car parking very much easier. All on the base of cameras and AI.
Okay. Atul, parking is often the first impression for visitors. Am I right? And so
Yes.
experience matters. How have customers responded to digital features like cashless parking, app-based navigation, or real-time occupancy updates?
So it's a good experience, Anjivji, and all the customers. So there are two type of customer. One who want to pay in cash. They don't want to go through the technological kind of system. They don't
Okay.
want that their RFID to be read. They don't want that to be in place. There may be certain reason behind it, but I don't know. There are people who at times talk to you and say, "Sir, I am okay. I'm good at paying you in cash or in UPI or something, rather than utilizing your RFID based system." So you have got an ANPR. So I'll first tell you what kind of a good digital smart parking features that we have in our malls also, and there are a few things which are under pipeline. We are also targeting the implementation of those best practices, including the smart parking system. So as per the compliances also, we have the ANPR system in our parking. So when I'm saying ANPR is a automatic number plate recognition system which has a camera and the light system along with that. So which is there in entry and exit, making your parking smooth and quick. So which is reducing your queues and all that. And this is the feature that we have. Wayfinding is also very clear that we have proper signages, proper wayfinding, proper slots marking on the ground, so that people are not they have the proper convenience of parking their car right from the entry till they are parking their cars. The one thing that we are also targeting, which is not there in our malls, we are also looking at kind of slot finding technology, which is new lead there in the market. We discussed this also. So
What is
that
that
is
slot finding technology? Can you brief it? Can you explain
so
it
this is
briefly?
so what happens is if you have got a big number of parking in any of the complexes, let's say if you're going in a mall which has got around 2 million, 3 million square feet of an area, and
Okay.
there are thousand number of parking there, and there are 4 5 multi-level parking and something, and when you're going at a floor, the signage which is there outside, which is again attached with your parking management system, is giving you that the parkings are full, or we have parking inside, you can come. But the moment you come inside, right, so as Arvindji mentioned, three portion of parking management: entry, and then parking slots, and then the exit. So all these three experiences are the key in having a good parking management experience. So when you are moving inside the floor and you are there and you see that nobody is there who is able to guide you where is the slot, how we can park, there is no parking assistant there. In that way, just to make sure that your customers are feeling good, at the same time the transition time is also less, and you are avoiding queue also at the same time, because your customer is now ready, is now able to recognize where is the parking slot availability. So there are some sensors on each parking slot. So you have got a proximity sensor, or this can be done through the other device as well. But when you are entering the floor, you will see maybe red or green, whatever color you want to do, that color is coming out from that place, and you could see that this space is vacant. So that is the technology that we can do, and that can be done on the through your ANPR or through your camera also, right? So but that's a costly affair. People may or may not choose this thing, but this is good when you are having a larger number of parkings in your building and you want that to be technologically fit and fine. You don't mind putting extra capex and deploying those kind of technologies there. So that's is the thing that we can look at, but this is not for a smaller kind of a place where you have got 500 600 parking or 100 200 parking per floor or something, I don't think it is required, because easily you can find it out without putting any capex or without spending money on it. But yes, if it is a bigger floor and you think that on the floor itself there are 400 500 600 parking, and person who is coming on the floor may or may not be able to find out the proper slot, I think we should go with that technology. But it's a very costly affair. At the same time, you'll have to understand whether we are utilizing it or not, whether this is of our use or not, depending upon our requirement. And then only you will be able to spend money on it. Otherwise, people may not be in favor of putting so much of capex on this.
Atul, do you face hurdles when integrating new parking technology, whether related to cost, operations, culture, or training? How do the customers or visitors respond? What is their response?
Sorry, I missed your a couple of lines.
When you are integrating new parking technology,
Right.
how do the visitors react?
So from visitor, so we all are actually visitor also, and we are all sitting here as a mall manager or mall developer. We are talking, but we all are user also. We visit many malls. We are the same. The only thing that a visitor or that a customer wants is quick entry in the mall, complete bottom line. Be it manual, be it with the help of any technology or whatever, they want two things: the parking charges should be minimum, and the entry time should be fast. Now, you and I, as a developer or as a manager, we need to understand and figure out based on the customer's requirement. And as I said, I am also emphasizing on that word, that the car park person who is coming into your mall is your first customer. It is a customer who is paying you instantly, this customer who is paying you quickly, and not only paying for parking, but this is the customer who is going inside the mall. And if you make that customer happy, he'll be happy spending more money going inside the mall. And again, this is going to help you in terms of your profitability. So making your customer happy at the point where you are taking him in the parking, if you're making his mood good, you will be not only getting good profitability in parking, but again, you are making sure that the person is going to be spending good, and you in turn, indirectly, you'll also get, benefited out of that. So that's
great. Arvind, how do you integrate modern solutions into existing infrastructure and management platforms without disrupting operations?
Right. You see, if you see, the parking technology has various components. They have a server, you have computers, which are point of sales at the point of exit, you have barriers, right? And you have ticket dispensers. Now, with new technology, you no longer have ticket dispensers, you have ANPR screens only, right? So, based on the specification, you can use the servers, you can use the computers, you can use the barriers. The easiest thing is to use the barriers. But if your systems are old, maybe 6-7 years old, then your servers and your computers need to be upgraded, because the latest software needs to run on high-grade, high-specification computers. The RAM and the storage space of the old computers is not enough. So you need to upgrade these 4 or 5 components and then integrate it in your software. As far as ticket dispensers are concerned, those are now obsolete. So you have to remove them and put ANPR screens. So yes, if your barriers, etc., are in good working condition and your servers are fairly new, or even if they have to be upgraded, I think the cost of retrofitting may come down to half or 60% or 70% of the total, depending on the quality of the current components.
Arvind, how do you, since yours is an organization which is a multinational, you have operations in other countries also, right? So how do you customize your parking solutions for Indian malls vis-a-vis global markets?
Yes. So India is the home of software development. So all our development is now done in India. So we designed for India and then we modify it when we export it to other countries. It's the other way around. We don't use that software and modify it for India. We make the Indian software and modify it for Southeast Asia, Middle East, etc., where we export. So, you know, now the other thing is that in Southeast Asia, whether Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, is very much like India in the sense we have high volume and you have a very low ticket size. Ticket size will be 100 rupees or 200 rupees or less. Unlike in the West where it is in terms of dollars and the low volume, high value. So we are actually designing in India. The software, hardware, manufacturing, everything is done in India for Indian conditions. So the problem is the other way around, not to localize it for Indian content.
Okay, that's very good. So, Atul, see, how are you planning for EVs, multimodal mobility, and the evolving needs of shoppers over the next decade?
I was expecting this question. I think this is something which was related to sustainability because we haven't touched this word as of now. We're talking about convenience, sustainability, and
Yeah,
appliances and all that. So this comes from the sustainability itself because so when you talk about the sustainability, people even don't think whether this parking is going to contribute something in the sustainability, because what sustainability means, people think that there is no energy consumption, it's a very small thing. So parking management, you are handling a kind of technical tool which is not even consuming good energy, so they only think about it that this will not play a vital role in managing the sustainability. Whereas you pointed out this correctly, that EV is the prime factor in managing the sustainability in parking management. First thing is that as of now, we should have proper number of EV charging station within the premises, so that this would not only help the customer to to avail that services by the time he's doing the shopping and all that, but at the same time you'll also be able to reduce the carbon footprint within your premises, and that will help you in maintaining good ESG report and obviously going for a good sustainable thing. Now moving forward, as you asked, is the time when we will be thinking about more value-added services, which is valet parking, EV charging, and all that. We should be having, so as per the NBC guidelines, also you have certain number of you should have certain number of EV charging stations within your premises. If you have X number of parkings in this, there is a threshold for that percentage. You need to have that EV parking within your premises. So though we already have our EV stations there at our all the malls, but we are planning to make them a little more, because now if you see the report of EV vehicles also, I think in last year the sale of EV vehicles was, I think, quite double of the last year. So that means people are moving towards the EV vehicle and they'll be using those vehicles. And mall is the right place where people can shop, and by the time their card would be ready. Otherwise, they would not be liking to spend half an hour to get their car charged or something. So this is the right place where people can have fun. People can eat well there, do shoppings and all that. And by the time their car charging is completely full. So we are also targeting in our upcoming malls. Also, we'll also look at how many numbers of EV charging can be made available more in terms of making our parking more sustainable. One thing. Second is the having EV system at your place, managing your smart parking, seamless your entry exit, clear wayfinding and all that. This will not only help you in managing your internal parking space, but this will also help you in managing your breathing space. So when I'm saying breathing space, is the same space that Arvind has also talked about, from your entry point till your car parking slots. So whatever in the middle, whatever space you have, that is called the breathing space. So if you have that adequate space and your movement is good, technology is helping you out in moving your car faster, you will be able to maintain a good sustainable practice there, because this also comes from your carbon emission, which is coming out of your cars smoke and all that, and that's operate your ventilation at the same time of your basement ventilation. So people are not thinking so deeply, but my point here is that if you are able to make your proper traffic controlled within the building, you will be able to control the carbon emission which is coming from as a carbon monoxide from your cars,
That's
and
very
hence your
nice.
power consumption would be limited.
Okay, now Arvind, things are changing every day, right? So, what emerging technologies will define the next generation of mall parking?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, the most important, there are two factors which are going to guide the next stage of parking. One is that manpower costs are increasing, and manpower is difficult to handle. Manpower cashiers can pilfer material, so
But
the trend will be,
technology is replacing manpower.
yes. So the first trend will be for technology to replace manpower. It hasn't started happening yet, but it will happen in a much larger in a much larger pace, where you still may reduce it to half the number of people. So that is one trend. The other trend is digital payments, zero cash payments. So once you shift to zero cash payments, then technology can help to further reduce manpower. Now, at the moment, because of FASTag, QR codes, wallets, credit cards, the digital payment is only about maximum 70-75%, if at all. In some malls, it even less. So it is the digital payments reaching 100%, or malls enforcing it is 100% through incentives or disincentives, and also uh, through that you will, both entry and exit, you will get manless and digital payments. In digital payments, your privilege is less, you get the money faster. The only issue is in reconciling it, whether the money which is FASTag or it is QR code or anything, whether it has really hit the bank or not, because you may have 5,000 transactions every day and they are not easy to reconcile. So the AI now helps to reconcile it. So the products we give, the FASTag and the QR payments are automatically reconciled with the bank at the end of the day, and that will help further in digitization. So you need AI for reconciling, you need AI for making it manless because of payments. Also, entry will be manless. Entry is almost already manless because of ANPR. But these are the two major trends, and it is working towards that, when you will soon have nobody at the exit or at the entry, and maybe no wardens, because if you have the capex, you can install a parking guidance system. So that is the way it is going to happen.
Atul,
And ANPR is not only one of the the amenities or the convenience thing that we are implementing at site, but at the same time, this is good for our the safety perspective also. You have got the data, right, for everything. For any car that
Yes.
is coming or leaving your premises, I think you have the data there, and there is, on top of it, there is a your IHM CL policy also, which gives you a compliance, is a mandatory compliance, that you have to have the data of your ANPR for your image for 1 year, and for all your bank transactions for 5 years. So it's not
Yes.
only giving you a kind of convenience, but at the same time, it is making you safe, right? Because you have the data of anything which is happening with respect to your car or something. So if, let's say, for an example, if any of your policemen come to your site and say that this is the suspected vehicle who got entered into your premises, I think 2 months ago or 3 months ago, whatever, if they give you the number, you'll be able to find it out, what time it got, it came in, and what time it left the premises. So you have the data. You have the data of even transaction of your financial transaction also. So you can get to know, even after 3 years, that which bank, which RFID, which
okay.
FASTag, which company, how much amount, and everything. So you have got that data. So not only the convenience, but it is also making you safe as a mall developer and mall manager.
Of course, there's a huge cost of maintaining the data, but nevertheless, there is another technology which is now available, which is not being used yet, and that is when the customer comes in through ANPR, the mall will know that the customer has come in. And they can be alerted that, okay, this customer has come in. and through that you can send WhatsApp messages to the customer, that these are the promotions going on in the mall.
Very good.
Retailer can say, if you come to my store, I will give you an extra 5% discount. So it will be interactive. The moment the car comes in to a mall, you will get to know who has come based on your database, and you can guide them there. And four-wheeler owners are higher spenders compared to two-wheeler owners, right? So you get the cream of the people coming into your mall in four-wheelers, and this technology is also available, which is an interactive technology, real time, as customers walk into the mall.
So it's very interesting that it will help in marketing also.
Yes. So
That's
on a real time basis, you're marketing to your customers, you're promoting what you want to promote.
Yes. So the moment customer enters into mall, you get the message that XYZ customer has entered, and then
based
you
on the
get
NPR.
messages.
Yes.
That's very good.
And you can even, retailers can participate. In fact, retailers can pay to the mall to get customers through this promotion into their retail stores. It is also a revenue generating thing for malls.
Something related to this, it clicked in mind. So it is too early to comment on it because I'm now under discussion with a company who is actually giving us a different kind of a facility in terms of parking management, which is something similar what you're talking about.
But Atul, good practices should be discussed. It may help others.
All right. So I'm not done with that decision as of now, but I am in the process of having a discussion with them. So there is a company. So like I'll start with that, giving an example. Like you have a credit card, right? In the credit card, you have what your what do you call it? Your couple of facilities that are attached to your card. If you are spending this much, you'll be given this, right? Airport launch as one of the facilities that they give you, correct? So somebody has contacted me as a company. They said that we'll attach the car parking or valet parking as a facility also in the credit card. So let's say if you are using a SDFC credit card, and as good as the facility that they are giving you, the launch access in airport and all that, they'll be giving you, okay, Pacific Mall or X Mall ka valet parking or parking, as one of the feature of your card. So that is the kind of discussion which is not only a facility, but we'll have to also understand what are the financial aspects of that. How do we get into the contract, the financial contract? How would you pay us? How would you make sure that this comes under your card and you avail all my valet parking or other facilities as one of the facilities of your credit card? So a credit card is not only giving you the access to your airport launch, but they're also targeting some of good malls in India where they can add this as a value-added services, or they can add this as one of the feature of that card. So we are in the discussion at this early stage, but we'll finish it and then we'll discuss.
That's a great news, Atul. Now, Mr. Sampath Kumar, he has posted a question. His question is, dear team, according to the current security threats situation, how to improve the safety, that is scanning and checking the vehicles prior to entry? Please share your suggestion. I think who will take this question? I think it's Arvind related.
Yeah, so actually security doesn't come under parking, but since we are closely related, the latest techniques are under vehicle scanners. Also, you have these gateways, doors through which the car parks, gants, where you have gases, explosives. Automatically these things are scanned. They are pretty expensive. I think 1 crore or 2 crores per lane. But if you want automated foolproof scanners with explosives, gas, chemicals, etc., you do get these scanners. I don't think anybody makes them in India, but European and American companies have these scanners which are automated totally, and at a very high level of security.
Atul, your thought on this? I think, okay. Atul, please share your thoughts on this
So
because it's
he's
a
right.
matter of
Ramanji is right on
security.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So security. So there are two aspects. One is the manual security that you do, checking with the mirror and all that. But when technology comes into the picture, we have got these things which Arvindji has also mentioned. Below the ground, you do the magnetic coil checking, which is there, right? We have done this, I think, in some of the property.
Okay.
So that's a good practice there, but it's a very costly affair. And primarily in the malls, it gives you a little more tough situation also, because at times when you're going through that, the manual checking, you should also be mindful of your parking queue and all that, which in the weekend it's a very big thing for the mall manager to manage that. So the idea is to go in the technical front. I think let's leave the manual kind of frisking, the manual checking with the mirrors and all that. It takes a lot of time. Let's go with this. You have a technology when you have that. What do we do it when you are entering inside? There is a place which you cross, and under the ground, we have got electromechanical circuit which catches all kind of if you have any unwanted material or something like that. So that's again kind of the metal detector that you use in your DHMD or HSMD. The same kind of detection system is there. So while your car is passing that area which has got that electromagnetic coil under the ground, that checks everything, and it talks to your intelligent system and gives you a pop-up whether it is suspected or not, and without any further delay of manual checking or something. So that means you can use that, but it's a very costly affair. It's a very good capex that need to be put in there. I don't think whether in all malls it should be there. It depends on the kind of your pocket, whether if you're going for a grade building or A grade setup. Obviously, you'll have to spend that if you want to really make your parking smart and this thing. So the system is there, solution is there. The only thing is that how do you take that forward, and based on your own requirement and own pocket.
Yeah. That's good, Atul. Now, Yashishta Kasoon. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly. The question is, could you please share the revenue lost in the controlling system with Mall Car Park Technologies Inc.?
Yeah, so there is actually no revenue loss. There is a revenue increase by putting in technologies. When you put in technologies, for example, in any mall, there are certain monthly parkers, right? Now, monthly, your retail staff, etc., right? If you don't have systems, everybody will say that I'm from that retailer. I belong to the cinema. You let me go in free. We already have free parking, right? So you control that. At the exit, when you have a dynamic QR code, they have to pay. The barriers are there, right? So normally we find that after we put in any system anywhere, the revenue of that mall goes up in the next month, anything by 10 to 40%, right? And there is one mall in the south where it went up by 100%. There was so much of leakage, right? So by putting in system, your revenue will go up, not decrease. There is no leak. It prevents leakage. Everything is reconciled. Digital payments are reconciled. For example, a cashier, he may say this is digital payment, right? But you do cash and you will pocket the cash. But ask the system, they will reconcile it with the bank and it will tell you, no, this money has not hit the bank on the same day on a real-time basis. So you prevent pilferage and you prevent people misusing the status of coming in without paying. Like, for example, it happens very frequently for staff of the cinema. They say, no, we must get in free. So all that discussion stops. So revenue goes up anything between 10 to 40%, and in one South India mall it went up by 100%.
Okay, now Mr. Karthik, we have a time constraint also, so I will not be able to take much questions. I'm just sharing what Karthik has written. Sharing his experience, I would like to express my concerns regarding the parking management at the mall. I recently booked 4 cinema tickets for Sunday afternoon, but was informed by the parking team that there were no available spaces. I believe addressing this issue could greatly enhance the customer experience and prevent potential inconveniences. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Atul, it's for you.
I didn't get this correctly. So
No, let me answer that.
Yeah,
Let me
please,
answer.
Arvind. Yeah, please do that.
So any good mall, right? They will always have valet parking, right? So any customer who is not able to find a place, the valet will park his car on the side, and he can go in, and then he will park the vehicle later on.
I think his point is something different. I don't know. He mentioned the problem, but what solution he's asking for is not clear.
He's just sharing his experience. That's all.
No, that's okay.
Not looking for any solution. Maybe he might be expecting that the moment we book tickets for cinema, then your parking slot should be reserved for him. But it's
that technology,
it's not possible also.
So no, that is possible, but that technology is little far, right? It is a very good thing that we experienced anything, and now we are so, your requirement, your need is the mother of the invention. No, so when you think that you have already bought the cinema ticket, and you think that your parking space should be linked with it, it is a very good thing. It should be done. I think it can be done also. There is no rocket science. This can be done. So the moment you do the ticket booking, it goes to, so there has to be a column wherein you have to put whether you're coming by your own car or by your bike, or you are walker. So you'll have to put that word. So the moment you put it that you are coming by your car, that means your system, that movie Alega system, that reads that this person has booked the ticket and he is owning the car, he will be taking the car inside. The same time, this information can be integrated with my parking management information, saying that this is coming at a privilege rate, at a higher kind of a rate, because you want to utilize a great kind of a service. You have to pay for it. So everything can be done. My parking system can be communicated through the cinema system, that I have got 10 ticket books and 10 Mercedes are coming, or 10 people are coming who want to make sure that the parking is reserved, and they go, okay, that's fine, we'll charge you $500 for this. All right, so this goes to the parking management system, and parking management system booked it itself. This will not show you that after 400 car parking, 390s are available, 10 are not available because they have already been booked. So this can be done. The communication can be done. It is just an interface between two technologies. One, which is a parking management system, and second, which is a retailer system. This may be your cinema or whoever it is, their system should talk to my system, and that interface can be created. But I am not sure whether people would be liking of having that kind of a privilege to see that when I am coming for my picture, my car parking should be booked. It can be booked, but this is going to be at a higher cost for the customer also, and for mall management also, because we don't see that much of a scope in managing that. If we don't see that a scope is much, we will not be able to put more capex on integrating these two facilities.
Thank you, Atul. See, the point is the time is not permitting us to continue further. So I thank you for those valuable insights. It's clear that the future of parking in malls sits at the intersection of smart technology, thoughtful design, and customer-centric operations. Am I right? So with this, we end today's webinar. Once again, I thank you all for sparing your precious time and sharing your experiences and the available technology, and I hope my attendees must have benefited. That's all. So with this, we end today's session. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Yeah.